The ADHOC Monster, Fandroid Fanfiction, by Dudes107. Published on March 2nd, 2018. Wow! Okay, so for those who don't know, the ADHOC facility, ADHOC facility, that's where I live. You can think of it like Aperture Labs or something like that, or Dexter's Lab. It's a laboratory full of fun robots and stuff. But this fanfiction is called the ADHOC Monster. Oh my gosh, a monster! Ugh, living near me? That's not good. Okay, let's get to reading this. Disclaimer. I made a few changes to the ADHOC facility, Fandroid, and Melody, and I added a couple characters of my own into the story. I'll let Fandroid decide if this story is canon or not. Without further ado, let's begin, and if the story is bad, feel free to use it for the try not to cringe challenge. Maybe even the try not to laugh challenge. Alright, so we have no idea if this fanfiction is going to be scary, cringeworthy, or funny. Here we go. Let's begin. Fandroid was in his living quarters, trying to think of a game to play for his next live stream, while Melody was trying to write some music. But suddenly, Fandroid heard a knock at his door. He thought it was just some rando trying to sell them something, or that new VR headset he ordered. So he answered it, but what he saw was an out-of-breath and exhausted robot. Melody was suspicious of this new robot, but Fandroid trusted this stranger. "Hello there, I'm Fandroid the Musical Robot," Fandroid said. The mysterious robot giggled. It seemed she shared Fandroid's sense of humor. Ooh, yay! So far I really like this fanfiction. Melody is paranoid, Fandroid is very trusting, and I have a great sense of humor. So far it checks out. This is a canon story. "Why, hello there, young fellow. I'm Percussion. Who would your friend be?" the stranger said. "If you must know, my name is Melody," Melody replied with a suspicious tone. "Nice to meet you, Melody," Percussion said. "I wish I could say the same thing," Melody replied. Ooh, Melody is being sassy. Fandroid immediately got angry with Melody for a second. "Don't say that, Melody." But then Fandroid started to calm down. Maybe Melody's just trolling her, he thought to himself. "Don't worry about your friend, good sir. May I come in?" Percussion asked. "Of course. Can I get you a cup of oil?" Fandroid asked. Percussion politely nodded no and hovered inside. Wait, Percussion hovered inside? So we don't even know what Percussion looks like. Percussion has not been described, but I'm gonna guess that Percussion looks a lot like Melody or something like that. Well, Melody was trying to stay as far away from her as possible. Fandroid set up a sleeping bag inside the auditorium in case Percussion was staying the night. While Percussion was admiring the auditorium, Melody was using a built-in scanner to look for some kind of ID to clear her suspicions, but Percussion just brushed it off. In the living room, Fandroid asked Percussion why she was tired and out of breath when they met. "Well, I actually sing in my off time. I just love to write music in order to send a positive message to the world and make it a better place. But a malfunctioning prototype stole some parts from me. All it cared about was making itself bigger. I tried to get away as quick as possible before anything else was stolen," Percussion replied. "Oh, sorry to hear that, Percussion. You're welcome to stay till you can get better. Can I get you something?" Fandroid asked in a reassuring voice. "Oh, that's great. I'm being nice to Percussion. So let's do a recap here. Percussion is a floating droid. Just like Melody, her name has to do something with music, Percussion, and she had her parts stolen from her. Interesting. So she claims. Back to the story. "Can I get you something?" Fandroid asked in a reassuring voice. "Thank you so much, but I'm rather tired. I think I'll get a quick recharge before anything else," Percussion said while yawning. A few minutes later, Fandroid decided to start a Roblox livestream, while Melody decided to finally clear her suspicions. Percussion was in the auditorium, sound asleep, giving Melody the perfect opportunity to investigate. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary, except for a creepy-looking wound on the side of Percussion's stomach. It looks like a scratch mark, pussing a mixture of oil and mysterious gray liquid. Melody didn't know what she was thinking when she saw that wound. She first felt like she would throw up, but then she felt a little sad for Percussion. Aww. Melody then decided to stop her investigation, but as soon as she started floating away, Percussion started shaking and talking in her sleep. "Go away. Haven't you done enough damage?" Percussion whispered. It's all because of you. Can't we go one day without worrying about him? Leave us alone, Percussion said while crying. After a while, Percussion stopped shaking, and her sleep-talking turned into light snoring. Her nightmare was over. Oh, she was having a nightmare. That's so sad. A few minutes later, Percussion woke up and decided to clear things up with Melody. But Melody was already waiting for her. I have a few questions for you. What's with the scratch on your side? What's done enough damage? Who is him? Melody asked. You heard me talk in my sleep, didn't you? I'm sorry, Melody. I haven't been completely honest with you. It wasn't just my parts that was stolen. That prototype also stole some vital parts from my father. He's in the repair center and doing all right. But I couldn't have done at least something to help, Percussion replied. She decided to stop talking so she wouldn't burst into tears. Wow! But then the wall came crashing down, and on the other side was a terrifying figure. A robot with Wolverine claws, mouths where its ears should be, each mouth drooling with gray liquid mixed with Percussion's oil. One eye was bigger than the other. It looked like a Frankenstein kind of monster. It was the prototype. Oh my gosh, this is the crazy thing, the prototype. It's the name of the evil monster that's attacking. It's called the prototype, and it looks like a Frankenstein. Oh my gosh. Not again, Percussion said with a terrified expression. After Fandroid's livestream, he decided to get a cup of gasoline from Starbucks, but he saw the creature standing before Melody and Percussion and screamed in terror. The creature saw Fandroid and connected a pipe to him. Fandroid was losing something very important. He tried to get the pipe unplugged, and he did, but his systems crashed soon afterwards. About 10 minutes after the incident, Fandroid woke up at the repair center. They were able to save his data, but not all of it. Fandroid was missing the piece of his hard drive that kept him sane. What? That's the most important part! The part that keeps me sane! What? It's been about a few days since Fandroid's that vital part, and the loss took its toll on Fandroid. He started fiddling with his spare parts and gathering them into a pile in the middle of the floor. A few times he used a built-in welding gun to combine a few parts. I'm actually impressed he didn't hurt himself, and I'm the one who wrote this story. What? What kind of weird fourth wall breaking is that? Why are you insulting my ability to use a welding gun? Why are you making fun of me? Don't make fun of me. This is the sad moment. There's a Frankenstein robot who destroyed me. Anyway, it's been a few days since Fandroid went insane, and Melody and Percussion were worried about him. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have gotten you too involved in this. I should have kept this to myself, Percussion said, crying. It's alright, it's not your fault. Maybe if we fight that thing, we'll save both Fandroid and your father, Melody said in a reassuring tone of voice. But then that terrifying monster bot came back, and it came so suddenly. Melody and Percussion weren't prepared to fight back. Speak of the devil, SOS, Melody said. But suddenly Fandroid burst through the door and ripped the prototype monster bot apart and got his sanity back. Wow! That was fast! He did that really fast. Our parts, Percussion said, reaching for her stuff, but the shenanigans weren't over yet. The shenanigans, that's a funny way to describe this terrible moment. She accidentally activated a hidden function in the monster bot. It connected the pipe from earlier into Fandroid, transferred its programming into him, and took control of his body. Fandroid, don't worry, I'll save you! Melody shouted. She tried to look for some weapons to try and save her buddy until she found a mysterious USB drive. She had her concerns, but she had no choice. She plugged it into her mainframe, and all of a sudden, holographic hands appeared. OMG, I have hands! Melody shouted. Oh my gosh, this story's amazing. They gave Melody hands. That is fan art material right there. Melody with hands. Amazing. I can imagine them right now. They're like these cool blue holographic hand things that come out of her body. Anyway, she then transformed into holographic hands into a sword and started repeatedly slashing at Fandroid. He eventually managed to reactivate his original programming, and he deleted the monster bot's programming, getting sick in the process. Percussion got hers and her father's parts back, thanked Fandroid and Melody for everything, and left without another word. Wow! So Percussion just kind of came and stayed the night and then left. She's gone. She got her parts back. That's awesome. Anyway, I wish she would have said some more words. I would have liked to become friends with Percussion. She seems like a nice person, way nicer than Melody. Anyway, That night, Melody got thinking, will we be able to see Percussion again? I'll ask Fandroid when he is better. And with that, Melody mounted herself to her charging dock and started creating a backup of her data. She didn't want to forget the craziest story of her life. Meanwhile, Fandroid was in his room, trying to sleep off his sickness. Nothing out of the ordinary, except Fandroid was drooling a familiar gray liquid. I have a feeling this is only the beginning. The end? Question mark. Ah! The story ends with a cliffhanger. It's got a cliffhanger. Oh my gosh, Fandroid might still be evil. Wow, that was a great fanfiction. That was kind of crazy and different. One of the most different fanfictions I've ever read. But I had a lot of fun reading it. It was super cool and fun. We had Fandroid. We had a new character named Percussion. Now, you asked me at the beginning of the story, is this story canon? I'm going to say the story is not canon. But I like the idea that there was a character named Percussion who's like Melody. That's pretty fun. Melody does have a sister named Harmony. That is canon. Melody has a sister named Harmony. Canon. But Percussion, I don't know if she has a sister named Percussion. I'll have to ask her. But yeah, I really like the monster in this, the Frankenstein kind of monster. That's really cool. This is a great fan fiction, Dudes107. I'm really glad you wrote this fan fiction. Thank you so much. Anyway, thank you so much for listening to this creepypasta. There will be a link in the description. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.